Hi, I'm Dick Seitz. Welcome to the Software Screw-Up series based on entries in the index of my Understanding Software Dynamics book. Today's episode 10 is about external interference. Sometimes your success is not based on your actions, but the actions of others. Same is true in software. Sometimes your program runs slowly due to external interference, actions of other programs, or of the operating system itself, using shared hardware or software resources. There's only 6 important shared resources: CPU, memory, storage, disk or SSD, network, software locks, critical sections, or power, thermal, causing clock throttling. We talked about slow CPU clocks in an earlier episode. If other programs are interfering with your program, it can only be because they're using too much of one of these shared resources. Think about that. If some other program is interfering with yours, it can only be because they're using too much of a shared resource. If another program is using a different CPU, if it's using different disks, etc., it can't be interfering with your program. So observing what every CPU core is doing every nanosecond, including interrupt handling, kernel code, thread wake-ups, CPU frequency changes, and microsecond scale instructions per cycle, IPC. Observing all of that means that anything that interferes with your program is visible, nothing missing. So every interference mechanism is captured. If your program is runnable but not running, that shows CPU contention, or perhaps a scheduler screw-up, and you get to see what the other tasks are that are running that are using the CPUs. If there's another program running on hyperthread on the same physical core as your program's IPC, instructions per cycle, drops. When that other program stops running, your IPC pops back up. When other programs are using cache lines or memory bandwidth, your program's IPC drops when they're interfering. Same thing with disks and networks. You can see the I/O interrupt activity showing competing use. If there are no disk interrupts, then there is not another program that's interfering with your disk. Okay, software locks, you can see in a trace of everything that's going on, you can see the wake-ups in the Futex system call or whatever that show which programs are releasing the locks that you're waiting for, and you can then see your program stop waiting and actually run. And also, if there's power or thermal issues, the throttling drops the CPU frequency of the processor, of the core that you're running on. So you can see all of this in a careful blow-by-blow trace of what every CPU is doing every nanosecond. The open source KU trace tool that's discussed in the book captures all this and captures it with tiny overhead, tiny enough that it does not distort the system under test. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This is the Software Screw-Up series. Take care.